Hey y'all, happy Monday. Thank you so much for coming to watch another What Else Is Going On, aka We Go Podcast YouTube video. I'm your girl, your host, Taria. All right, we get ready to jump straight into just a couple things I want to talk to y'all about. Then I got to go downstairs, take my notes for my Real Housewives of Atlanta recap and my Beverly Hills recap. Look, I know that I'm behind two Beverly Hills recaps, but y'all about to get one. And then we just move, we gonna move forward. Okay. We're gonna move forward. So let's jump into the stuff. First of all, Jonathan Majors. We just did a video. Was it yesterday? Today is Monday, right? Y'all, I promise y'all, time jumped, not an hour. I said it before, time jumped like days because I feel like I don't know where I am half the time, and I'm still so tired. It has to be the time change that's kicking my behind. But anyway, we just talked about Jonathan Majors, how he gave an interview with People magazine, talked about his sexual abuse from the time he was 9 on, how he's seeing his therapist, all of these things. Well, now y'all probably heard it, but we have not discussed it as a family. Voice recordings leak of Jonathan Majors pretty much admitting to choking his ex, Grace Jabari. So let's get into them. If in your aunt, let me start it from the beginning. All the things are under address. Yeah. Yeah. Like that's never happened to me. So I because I said something sarcastically. If in your aunt. Clearly it's more than that. Yeah. Clearly that. I mean, inside. I've never wrestled with a woman before, and it's right here. It's right here. Like, all these things are under address. Yeah. Yeah. Like that's never happened to me. So I because I said something sarcastically. If in your aunt. Clearly it's more than that. Yeah. Clearly that. I mean, inside. So in case it's hard to hear because out of whatever that rustling is going on in the background, what she says, he says, "I'm sorry, I aggressed you. I aggressed you." And she says, "You strangled me and pushed me against the car." And he says, "Yes, all those things are under aggressed." Listen again. Yeah. Oh, because at the end she says, "I said something that sarcastically," and he said, it's more than that. So listen again. I've never wrestled with a woman before, and just I've never like all these things are under address. Yeah. Yeah. Like that's never happened to me. So I because I said something sarcastically. If in your aunt. Clearly it's more than that. Yeah. Clearly that. Something inside. I've never wrestled with a woman before, and just. In the beginning, he says, "I've never been arrested with a warrant before. And I'm sorry, I aggressed you." She says, "You strangled me, pushed me up against the car." And again, he says, "Yes, all those things are under aggressed." Who now there, I do wonder if he came out and did that People interview because he knew this audio was coming out. We do know that sometimes these celebrities and even Bravo celebrities, if things are coming out, they're given a heads up that things, not all the time, and I don't know if in this case or not, but sometimes they are given a heads up. So it just makes me wonder if he came out with that because he knew this was going to come out, or the opposite, because he came out with that interview talking about that. Someone may not like that. Maybe people are having different conversations surrounding him now because of him talking about his sexual abuse and they dropped this. Who knows? All we know is that he's admitting to uh, strangling her and pushing her up against the car. And he says that falls under aggressed. So I thought this with him and her. I wonder who leaked it. It doesn't even matter though. At this point, it doesn't matter. It is what it is. He did it, and that's that. So, but I just wanted to bring that to y'all because we did just talk about him. Was it yesterday, y'all? Again, days. What are they? What is time? Social construct. But we just talked about him, so I wanted to bring y'all these recordings that were leaked. It's keep thine hands to thine self. Period. men grabbing on women and doing all that stuff, and women fighting on men. None of it is good. All right, moving on. Let's get into Kandi Burruss. Let's hear what Kandi had to say.
Not on the show. It was my choice to leave the show. They didn't do me dirty. They didn't do me wrong. Matter of fact, I have a great relationship with NBCU. They actually gave me a development deal with me and Todd. And we have a deal with the network to produce shows. Right now, we're developing a show for the network. Not that we're on, but that we are casting with other people on it. So I will have to say that Bravo always treated me good. I'm not one of those people. I'm not trying to tell people they shouldn't watch the show because I'm not on the show. It was my choice to leave the show. They didn't do me dirty. They didn't do me wrong. Matter of fact, I have a great relationship with NBCU. They actually gave me a development deal with me and Todd. And we have a deal with the network to produce shows. Right now, we're developing a show for the network. Not that we're on, but that we are casting with other people on it. So I will have to say that Bravo has always treated me good.
So she said that she has a great relationship with NBCU. Now, this is interesting. She says she's casting a show that her and Todd are not going to be on, but that other people are going to be on. I was listening to Nene Leakes and Sierra's podcast, Me and My Homegirl, which I don't know if it's coming back. The last episode was in February, but I believe it was it was either part 1 or part 2. I think it was part 2 of their first episode. This was in January. And she was talking about how Nene was telling Sierra basically how she gave the name of all the women that were on season 1. She gave the names to Princess, I forget Princess last name. She was on Carlos King's recent show, but she's the one that got all the women, like put Atlanta together. But so Nene was telling Sierra that in her second episode of her and Sierra's show, which again, because I want to, their second episode was January 27th. It was this year, Homegirls Unfiltered Part 2. And she starts talking about the different ladies throughout the season. So she talks about the first season. Then she says Kandi came back the second season. People call her an OG, but she's not an OG. And then Sierra brings up their relationship. And she says, for some reason, me and Kandi can never get on the same foot, blah, blah, blah. And she says, but funny enough, me and Kandi were just texting a couple days ago. And then she said, about a business. Kandi has a business idea. And then she didn't go into it further. So that was in January. So I'm just wondering if Kandi talking about, she's got a deal with NBC Universal to bring some shows. And she said she's casting with her and Todd are not going to be on it, but other people. And Nene has a contract with NBC Universal. She has a contract because y'all listened to her first episode of her new talk show, Carlos was a guest and Michelle A.T. Elliott was a guest. I'm gonna cover that just because there's a couple things that stood out to me in it. But one of the things was they were talking about Simon and Portia, and Michelle A.T. Elliott tried to kind of allude to like maybe somebody is backing Portia up by getting Simon detained. In other words, trying to say maybe NBC Universal made some calls. And Nene was like, don't do that to my family. Don't keep my family out of it. And then she went on to say, I don't think NBC Universal would do that. I said, she's not trying to mess up. She's back in with NBC Universal. She's not trying to mess that up. So if Kandi has development deals with NBC Universal and they're trying to cast for a show, and Nene just said in January, Kandi texted her. We know that they never really got along, but Kandi texted her because she has a business idea. I'm just wondering if Nene is a part of this show that they're trying to put together. So who knows? Maybe not. I do know I want to see Nene back on my television. I know I keep saying I want to see her back on The Housewives, but You never know. Who knows? Moving on, let's get into this story here. Child, this is a mess. So this is according to page 6. Kanye West declares men make final decision after releasing song with daughter North against Kim Kardashian's wishes. Kanye West traded. Now this is according to page 6. And I'm sorry. Kandi, you heard Kandi talking before that I got that from the Jasmine brand. And then the story before that with the audio from Jonathan Majors was from the Neighborhood Talk on Instagram as well. So Kanye West traded his anti-Semitism for misogyny after vowing to go to war with ex-wife Kim Kardashian over a song featuring their eldest daughter, North West. After dropping Lonely Roads Still Go to Sunshine, that's a long title, without the Kardashian star's approval, the rapper wrote via X early Monday, the man makes the final decision. Kanye also seemingly referenced his heated text with Kardashians, adding in a separate post, all kings love war. Ciao. One day prior, the Grammy winner shared a screenshot from a conversation with the reality star 44, who was apparently unhappy about his decision to feature their 11-year-old daughter on a track with Sean Diddy Combs, who was in jail. So he put North on a track with Diddy. Kardashian tried to block the song's release before Kanye, who now goes by Ye, shared it in a since-deleted X post. In the exchange, the Donda rapper asked the Keeping Up with the Kardashians alum to amend her trademark for their daughter's name so he could drop the tune without legal repercussions. I asked you at that time, this is him to her. I asked you at that time if I can trademark her name. You said yes. Kardashian purported, oh, I'm sorry, this is her to him. I asked you at that time if I could trademark her name. You said yes. When she's 18, it goes to her. So stop. So this is what Kim was telling Kanye. She continued, I sent paperwork over so she wouldn't be in the Diddy song to protect her. One person has to trademark. Kim also claimed they had agreed to trademark all their kids' names when they were born so that no one else would take them. However, Kanye was not satisfied with her reasoning. Amend it or I'm going to war, and neither of us will recover from the public fallout. You're going to have to unalive me. But he said the word that started with a K. Ciao. Can you imagine? Amend it or I'm going to war, and neither of us will recover from the public fallout. You're going to have to unalive me. TMZ later reported that Kardashian sent the Heartless singer a cease and desist letter after learning he had planned to release the song at his Sunday service. Although he allegedly skipped an emergency hearing with a mediator and a judge, he had promised not to drop the song, according to the outlet. A source told Page 6 that Kardashian does not want North involved in Kanye's controversial decisions, especially revolving around Combs, who was behind bars on charges of sex trafficking and racketeering. The insider said Kim's priority is the well-being and safety of her children. However, amid the trademark drama, Kanye also accused his ex-wife of keeping their 4 kids, North, Saint, who's 9, Chicago 7, and Psalm 5, away from him. Yes, I have beef with people that froze my account, took my kids away, and tried to put me in jail, and it stuck. He wrote in a since deleted post. Kanye says he does not want to just see his kids, but wants to actually raise them and make decisions about their schooling and day-to-day choices. In caps, he wrote, all these rights have been taken from me by the Kardashian mob, Hulu, and Disney, and the bigger agenda to use the selectively bred Black children to be platforms to influence Black people. Kanye likened his current custody agreement to having visitation in jail, ending the tirade with yet another anti-Semitic remark. Now, when he says there's a bigger agenda, they want, like the Kardashians, have a bigger agenda to use the selectively bred Black children to be platforms to influence Black people. Now, didn't Kanye, I want to get it right. Hold on, he gave. Okay. I just want to get this right before I say this because it just made me think of something. I was trying to get the exact quote, but remember when Kanye said that he gave Kim the keys to the Black culture or something like that? Y'all remember that? Like he allowed her to be a part of Black culture. He gave her the keys. But now you're saying that the Kardashians um, chose to have their kids by Black people so that they could influence Black culture. But again, you were saying I'm almost positive. Y'all, please remind me. I am sure he has said he gave her the keys to either the fashion or the Black culture or something like that, or allowed her in Black culture or something like that. So it's interesting now that he's saying this. I mean, we've thought that about the Kardashians for years. That's nothing new, but you were right there, a part of it when you were a part of it, right? I will say this. I wouldn't, if it was my child, I wouldn't want her on the song either. I understand why Kim's doing what she's doing as a mother. No, I don't want my child on a song with Diddy. Period, point blank. I guess we'll have to see how this goes, but his tweets surely are not going to help him. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Do y'all think that Kim is making the right decision? Or do you feel like Kanye, when he's saying men should have the final decision? I'll just tell you right now, I do not feel like that. I think whoever's making the best, whoever's making the decision that's in the best interest of the child and protecting the child, that's who should have the final say. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Let me know what y'all think about Kandi and her development deal with NBC Universal. And do we think Nene could possibly be a part of it, since they were just texting and Nene did say it was about a business idea? Let me know what y'all think about the Jonathan Majors audio that we heard. All right, y'all, I'm about to go take my notes for the Atlanta recap. I'll be sure to give you all the bullet points and my POV. Talk to you later. See ya.